past that time by Sparrow, and the circus is on.
What's up, YouTube? It's Tired Night. You tuned to Ty's Life. I'm about to be reacting to the one shot that made Larry Bird the GOAT. Let's get into the video. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Prime Larry Bird. You already know what it is. His channel is really good. I've been reacting to a lot of his videos. So, yeah, it should be a good video. Should be interesting. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Of the NBA Finals, Boston Garden. The air thick with cigarette smoke and anticipation. And in 2.3 seconds of basketball glory, Larry Bird would create a moment so improbable, so physically impossible, that it made Red Auerbach, the cigar-smoking legend who'd orchestrated 16 championships with the Celtics, who watched Bill Russell make impossible blocks, who seen John Havlicek steal the ball, who witnessed every clutch moment in Celtics history, say something that he had never said before. That's the greatest play I've ever seen.
I have been very blessed and fortunate having coached some of the greatest that ever played the game. But if I had to start a team today, I've never said this before, the greatest player and the one guy I would take would be Larry Bird.
Coming from Red, that wasn't just praise. It was gospel. But to understand this moment, you need...
Let me know. 1986. Do you think Larry Bird was the GOAT at that moment? Looking at Magic Johnson, looking at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, looking at Bill Russell, like all those players at that moment, what Larry Bird has done in his whole career in 1986, was he the GOAT back then? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments.
Understand the man who made it, and you need to understand what was at stake that night in Boston.
If you want to have a job in the next 5 years, these are the AI rules you need to know.
Just 1 year earlier, Larry Bird won Rookie of the Year after transforming a 29-win Celtics team into a 61-win juggernaut. But this season, it was different. Because this season, there were expectations on the Hick from French Lick. Boston finished the season at 62-20, the best record in the NBA. And Bird had elevated his game to another level, averaging 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. But regular season accolades mean nothing if you can't deliver when the lights burn brightest. The Eastern Conference playoffs had been a war. The Celtics battled through Chicago, then survived a bruising 7-game series against Philadelphia, the defending Eastern Conference champions.
It was the greatest series I've ever played in my opinion, maybe the greatest series leading up to a championship that two teams ever had to play.
Bird's coming to the left. Stop and pop off the glass. It's gone. Boston leads 91-89. 1 second left. And the pass hits the top of the backboard. And it's over. They came from 3 of 1 down. And they have won the series. It's all over. It's all over. This place is a madhouse.
In only his second year in the league, Larry Bird was learning that greatness demanded everything you had and then a little bit more.
Because we did win a lot of 1-2 point games. It just seemed like every time you look up the clock, we had a 1 point lead and there's 1 second on the clock and they had the ball. It was them type of games where all the emotion, all the adrenaline, and everybody was just flowing and everything was just going to perfection at the end of the game. That was probably the best games I ever played in my life. It was a 7-game series, and every one of them was just full of excitement.
Now standing between Boston and their 14th championship banner were the Houston Rockets, a team that had shocked the basketball world by eliminating the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers in the first round and reaching the finals as massive underdogs.
Kareem will try to get as much distance on this as he can without starting the clock. Jamal Wilkes, 3-pointers. And we are going to have new world champions this year in the NBA. The Houston Rockets have won it. Houston, 89. Los Angeles, 86. As you look at this game, it shows you so often how a team that's below 500 is a lot better sometimes, maybe than your record indicates.
The Houston Rockets were led by Moses Malone, the most dominant center in basketball at the time, a force of nature, all elbows and intensity.
In underneath, and he lays it up in the air. He is fouled on the ground, and a fleet guard who can shoot. Malone on the offensive rebound, and he's powering in Kareem, and it's been no contest in many ways tonight. That's how you do it, huh?
Moses was averaging nearly 30 points and 15 rebounds in the playoffs, and he made believers out of everyone who'd ridden Houston off. But basketball, as Larry Bird knew it better than anyone, doesn't care about expectations. So game one was crucial. With home court advantage, Boston needed to set the tone and show Houston they didn't belong on the same floor. But from the opening tip, Houston made it clear that this was not going to be easy for Boston. Houston came out swinging like they had nothing to lose, because they didn't.
Dunleavy out to Robert Reed. Cedric Maxwell now has jumped out on him. Here's Billy Paulks, and that's exactly what Paulks has done the entire playoff series.
I don't think they're coming here with a letdown. Yeah, but they have to be.
After 8 years in Cleveland, his second year with Boston, and Billy Paulks again. Paulks has really been an unsung hero for this Houston team. Steele, Robert Reed. Reed, who led the team this year, set a record for Houston and Steele, comes up with that one.
The Rockets came out aggressive, physical, and determined to prove that they belonged on this stage. It wasn't pretty basketball. It was an all-out war.
Playoffs ensued. Rebound, Bird always working hard, as is Malone, and Darryl Garrettson is going to give the ball to the Boston Celtics. I don't think there's two men that work any harder than Larry Bird and Moses Malone.
Moses Malone was a force in the paint, grabbing everything that came near him.
8-2, Houston. Robert Perry's misses. There's Moses Malone, who led the NBA in rebounding this year with 14.8. Moses Malone had to work hard. Still can't get the ball to drop. Here he goes again, and he still can't. Malone pushes it in.
The Celtics, meanwhile, struggled early. Larry Bird injured his right hand in the first half, and his shot wasn't falling.
Harris with a rebound to Larry Bird. Oh, wait a minute. Bird really hit hard.
Oh, he's all right, Alex. He just exasperated because he thought he was going to get the free throw.
Well, Bird tries to go in for the dunk on this play. You'll see him take it out and hold it in one hand right there. He's going up the dunk. Paulks times it beautifully. Goes right up, gets nothing but ball on the way up. You can see Larry's about a foot over the rim right there.
Larry Bird looks like he hurt his hand a little bit on that play.
But Larry Bird's genius was never about shooting. It was about impact, about finding ways to affect winning, even when his offense wasn't clicking.
Good regular season, trailing in the fourth quarter. Billy Paulks.
The defense.
Bird brings it down. And Del Harris has said he's a real key to this team. He's been there before. Calvin Murphy. There's Paulks again. Harris. That may be offensive interference. No whistle. Here comes Archibald. Rebound, Larry Bird. Larry Bird now with
There's one thing about someone being a winner, like a winner, and doing everything you can to get that win. It doesn't matter if it's like taking over the game, dropping 20 points in the second half, dropping, you know what I'm saying, going off and taking over, or just getting rebounds, running the floor. Running the floor is big because like you always want to have the opportunity to get a rebound and put it back up. You always want to have the opportunity to get a rebound and put it back up. You always want to have the opportunity to give your teammate an option for someone to pass to. If he's just out there alone on a fast break and then there's like 3 players on him, he needs an option for you to pass it to him. Larry Bird is always there. He's always running the floor. He's always making himself available. I think that's what Larry Bird does as a basketball player, as a teammate. He makes himself available for his team so they could be in the best situation to win and get the W, no matter what the circumstances. He's just gonna be there. He's gonna give his team the best opportunity to win. He's not gonna slack off on the offensive end or the defensive end. He's always gonna be there for a steal, for a block, and for the help defense. So yeah, that's what Larry Bird does, man. He's available. He's always there. He's always running. He's making sure he's in the possession and he's present and ready to make the best play. So yeah, that's Larry Bird.
Points, 22-12.
If your home didn't sell, here's what you need to know. Most realtors just take a bunch of photos.
The teams went back and forth, with Moses Malone being unstoppable on the glass, finishing putbacks and drawing fouls.
Boston Celtics at home have just been unbelievable this year. Rebound Moses Malone, and they're only getting about one crack at it. They're leading. Neville gets a pass to Dunleavy. Oh, what a follow by Moses Malone. Take that.
While Robert Reed and Calvin Murphy were hitting ridiculous shots.
Ball jumping out on him. Calvin Murphy with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Beautiful play by Calvin Murphy. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 3, 2. Reed with 1. He just got it underway and hit it. Robert Reed, a little pressure. I'll tell you, though, that's what happens when a team has things going for them.
tough.
Shots like that start going in the basket.
Larry Bird showed flashes of what made him special.
Has been averaging 16.7. Bird again.
Hey.
Bird now starting to come along.
That step back, quick and efficient, right into the pocket, followed through on his head. Just poetry in motion, like I used to like I always say. Poetry in motion, like I always say. It's crazy. Catch the ball, step back. He went to like the 45 kind. He was at the 45, went to the top of the key, the elbow, and did a step back. And he just it was quick, efficient. Blink of an eye, the ball was in the rim.
Archibald, Roby. Rebound, Robert Reed. Coming up with it is Larry Bird. Look at him work. Kamal Carr.
By halftime, the game was up for grabs.
2 seconds left in this first half. Archibald to Bird. And that's the way our first half is going to come to a close.
In the third quarter, the Garden was electric with nervous energy.
One scribe here said this might be the biggest mismatch in 22 years. Hey, somebody forgot to tell Houston.
No, you find that the teams that get into the playoffs, when they get there, they
No
have
Russell, man.
good teams and they're good
No
ball
Russell.
clubs. Because I think the reason someone would say that is that Boston has beaten Houston 13 straight times, but that has nothing to do with it now. This is a playoff game, and both teams are starting at square one because you didn't get to this point playing bad basketball.
But as the fourth quarter began, the Celtics needed separation, but they needed someone to make a play that would break Houston's spirit.
Just enough so the pass could be there. Bird with 10 points. Henderson alone. Oh, Roby made sure he didn't go up, and we have some angry people, in particular Moses Malone. Roby almost gave him a bear hug on that play. Well, Roby didn't try to hurt Moses. He was holding him so he wouldn't fall down. He was just making guard short.
He didn't get a three-point play.
Exactly. Here you'll see Moses battling with Roby inside. Now you see how he sneaks in there to get close to that pass. There's Roby, got him hooked already. Moses knocks him off. Now he goes up, gets the rebound. Roby now gets up there. He knows he's dead, so now he reaches over him. Now see, he just holds on to him. He's just holding him. He doesn't want him to fall down. It was a hard foul. It was a hard foul, but he wasn't trying to intentionally hurt Moses on the play.
And at the 6-minute and 42-second mark of the fourth quarter, it was a one-possession game. Larry Bird spotted up for a jumper, his classic form, the kind of shot he'd made 10,000 times. He let it fly. And in that split second, everything changed. Because as the ball left his fingertips, Bird knew it was off. And this is the part that people don't understand about great players.
Crazy.
Most players would land, watch, and hope that they're wrong.
Oh, it's that famous putback. The switch hands, the alternating hands. Yeah, that was crazy.
Maybe a teammate tips it in. Maybe you get lucky and it bounces in.
Nope.
Larry Bird didn't wait to find out. While the ball was still in flight, before it even reached its apex, Bird sprinted towards the baseline like a building was on fire. Remember, Bird wasn't known for his athleticism. Apparently, he couldn't jump over a phone book. Apparently, he wasn't fast. But apparently, with Larry Bird's basketball intelligence, court awareness, and anticipation, Bird operated in a different dimension than everyone else.
Yeah, factual.
While 9 other players stood and watched, Bird had already moved 3 steps ahead. Larry Bird soared to the baseline, his right arm extended, and snatched the rebound out of the air with his right hand. Larry Bird was moving so fast that his speed was carrying him out of bounds. His body was already past the baseline. There was no angle to the basket. The play should have been over. Key words, should have been. But as Larry Bird left his feet and his body sailed towards the out of bounds line, he did something that still defies explanation. In midair, with his momentum
Okay,
taking him
bro.
away from the basket,
Finish the
he
play.
switched the
Damn.
ball from his right hand to his left hand at full speed like a magician's
Okay,
sleight of
you're
hand.
rewinding it back, bro.
And then,
Just
as he
finish the play off.
descended, as his body began to fall out of bounds, Bird somehow flicked the ball up with his left hand, and as he released the ball with the softest touch imaginable, the ball floated up and dropped through the rim. All net. It was the most poetic balance of athleticism and pure finesse. The Boston Garden exploded.
7 minutes left. Larry Bird follows his own shot. Oh, what a point! Now Larry, as soon as he
Yeah, that's crazy though. Like,
he missed it. He knew he missed it.
for me, I think that's more anticipation, more coordination, IQ, and just being aware that, oh, the shot fell a little off. I'm gonna run to the basket. Oh, it's kind of going out of bounds. Shoot, I'll still get it from here. Soft touch off the backboard. Another day in the office. Larry Joe Bird. Yep.
He took off right to the basket again, not being boxed off the boards. Made an incredible recovery and shot it in with his left hand. Just a great, great shot.
You won't see much better moves than that anywhere.
Incredible basketball.
Larry Bird landed out of bounds, stumbled, caught himself as the referees were already signaling good basket. His teammates were rushing towards him, mouths open in shock. Even the Houston players were shaking their heads in disbelief. Mike Dunleavy, who was playing for the Houston Rockets at the time and had a front row seat to this play, said his body was completely past the backboard. The only thing not out of bounds was his head and his left hand.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't know how he made that shot. On the Celtics bench, Casey Jones and Bill Fitch looked at each other with the same expression. Did that just happen? And somewhere, smoking a cigar in his private box, Red Auerbach, the man who had seen everything in basketball, who coached Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, and John Havlicek in the greatest dynasty in sports history, took the cigar out of his mouth, looked at the people around him, and said, "That's the greatest play I've ever seen." Larry Bird is a player of destiny.
7 minutes left. Larry Bird follows his own shot. Oh, what a point!
Crazy.
Larry is anywhere. Incredible basketball.
That single play became the turning point. You could feel the energy shift in the Boston Garden. The Rockets, who'd been scrapping and fighting, believing that they could shock the world again, suddenly seemed smaller.
Make it a habit. 7 minutes of Tai Chi every morning, all the way for 1 month.
Billy Pulse. Austin now with a chance to take the lead. Maxwell on the move. Curry, and the Celtics have the lead by 1.
The Celtics, who had been tight and uncertain, suddenly played with the confidence of a champion.
With that foul, now has 5. Larry Bird, and the Boston Celtics take the lead. 92-91. Larry
Into the
Bird
pocket.
was 16, and he always gets those points down the stretch. They'll try another one. Not a good shot. Bird again. Maxwell by himself. And what happened on that play is that Maxwell took off and retook that bad shot. The Houston guards made a mistake. The weak side guard should have been noticing the floor balance and taken off to get back on Maxwell. They never did it. Boston's run off 8 points. They now have a 5-point lead over the Rockets, and they seem to be in control.
Bird finished the game with 18 points, 21 rebounds, and 6 assists. A typical stat line that didn't quite capture his dominance. But everyone who watched the...
Did he just say 21 rebounds and it didn't capture his dominance? 21 rebounds? That's... Yo, Kawhi Leonard says board man wins. Basically, who's on the boards, who's getting rebounds. He said Kawhi Leonard said board man gets paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that get rebounds in the NBA, they get paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 21 rebounds is dominating. Rebounds, you're taking it off the. You're getting more opportunities to score. You're getting more possessions. Whoever gets more possessions gets more opportunity to win. I'm assuming who gets more possessions and who is dominating the game in rebounds ends up winning the game. I think I could do a stat. I could go and look at the last 10 NBA games as of recent. and who dominated somebody in rebounds? Like who has the high in rebounds for each team? And I'm pretty sure the winner probably has more rebounds, especially if it's a good amount. Like if they're killing them in rebounds, if they're beating a team, and they have 20 more rebounds than the other team, they probably won. They have 10 more rebounds, they probably won. So the fact that Larry Bird had 21 rebounds, that does show his dominance. He doesn't have to have 20 points to show his dominance. 21 rebounds is enough. That's 21 extra possessions. That's 21 extra possessions. If that's not dominance, I don't know what is. Come on now. I must have heard that wrong.
Bird finished the game with 18 points, 21 rebounds, and 6 assists.
21 rebounds. That shows his dominance, bro. Come on now.
A typical stat line that didn't quite capture his dominance. But everyone who watched the game knew that this was Larry Bird's game. This was Larry Bird's moment.
Larry Bird trying to shake Willoughby. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Parrish with 5. Larry Bird with a rebound. Oh, is it physical?
Really dominant.
Boston would go on to win game 1, 98-95. But that play, Bird's impossible, physics-defying two-point basket, proved to be the margin of victory.
Because Houston knows, and they probably will feel that they could have won this basketball game as well they could have if they had not let the Celtics get all those offensive rebounds. No penalty situation. There's the end of the game.
The Boston Celtics have won it 98-95. The Miller Highlight Most Valuable Player Award will go to Larry Bird. Bird coming up with 18.
That is crazy. 18 points, 21 rebounds. I don't care what anybody says. 18 points, you still have a great impact on the game. 18 points, and you had 21 rebounds? What? Dominance. Like I said, 21 extra possessions. That's crazy.
18 points, 21 rebounds in this game. So another $1,000 donation will be made to the Special Olympics on behalf of Larry Bird.
But why does that one play matter so much to Larry Bird's legacy? Because it encapsulated everything that made Bird transcendent. The anticipation, knowing his shot was off before anyone else did. The relentlessness, refusing to give up on a play when 99% of players would have. The creativity, inventing a solution in midair that nobody had ever considered. The execution, pulling off something impossibly difficult under the brightest lights. That play, more than any statistic or accolade, revealed Larry Bird's basketball genius. It was the only play in Game 1 that people remembered. That one impossible, improbable, shouldn't have happened sequence seemed to capture everything that Larry Bird was about. The pressure, the expectations, the burden of being the next great Celtic, all of it validated in that moment. And not one player before or since has ever been able to replicate that shot by Larry Bird. May 5th, 1981, 2.3 seconds, one impossible play. The moment Larry Bird didn't just win a game, he entered the conversation that only a handful of players ever join.
I mean, the easiest way to test a nonstick is to cook an egg. Now look, check out that glide. This is the first nonstick.
The conversation about who stands at the absolute pinnacle of basketball greatness. He wouldn't be the last to make that claim. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and others would all stake their place in the debate. But on that night in Boston, with the ball in his left hand and his body defying gravity, Larry Bird showed the world exactly why his name belongs in that discussion. Because the GOAT conversation isn't just about numbers, it's about impact. It's about plays that transcend the game itself. Michael Jordan has his shot over Elo.
He looks, he gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
Magic Johnson has his shot over Kevin McHale.
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good! 2 seconds left. The Lakers take the lead on Magic Johnson's running sky hook.
LeBron James has his block on Iguodala.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Oh my goodness.
And Larry Bird has the right to left hand mid-air switch putback layup off his own miss in Game 1 of the 1981 NBA Finals.
7 minutes left. Larry Bird follows his own shot. Oh, what a play!
Now, Larry, as soon as he shot that ball, knew he missed it. He knew he missed it right. He took off right to the basket again, not being boxed off the boards. Made an incredible recovery and shot it in with his left hand. Just a great, great shot.
You won't see much better moves than that anywhere.
Incredible basketball.
Over the years, that play has taken on mythological proportions, but the actual footage is so wild, you don't even need to embellish it. But that's what happens with moments of true greatness. They become the stories we tell to explain exactly what made someone so special.
I have been very blessed and fortunate having coached some of the greatest that ever played the game. But if I had to start a team today, I've never said this before, the greatest player and the one guy I would take would be Larry Bird.
If you like this story, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. And if that wasn't the greatest play you've ever seen, then let me know what you think is the greatest play ever in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video.
Greatest play. There's a lot of them, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I wouldn't say that's the greatest play. I think I've seen better plays from Larry Bird. Let me know if you was that Larry Bird's best play ever? Because that was I think that was earlier in his career, right? He had more plays than that. He had crazy plays. My favorite, my all-time favorite, it wasn't really clutch, but it was he was going full court, crossover. You guys, if you watch my videos for some time, you know I like this play. He was going full court crossover. He shifted the guy all the way to the other side when he was going downhill at the half court line, and then got to the three-point line and shot out 1 foot, hit the backboard, and it went in. So that was my favorite play from him. But that play was crazy though, because it was acrobatic outside of the actual play, and his whole body was out of the play, almost out of bounds, and threw it up with his left hand. He's not a lefty, off the backboard. Okay, now I think about it, that's probably the toughest shot he's ever done. It might be his best shot. I'm not gonna lie, it might be his best play. Putting it into perspective, the fact that he's not a lefty and he did that with his left hand is very tough and very hard to do. It's how do you even make that? The fact that it wasn't even his dominant hand, I think that's what really shocked players. He was outside of the play, and he was going out of bounds, and he managed to get a soft touch with his left hand, his non-dominant hand. That's crazy. That was a great video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you want me to react to more Prime Larry Bird videos, or if you have any other recommendations, or any other players, or any ideas you want me to do. If you guys are creative with it, let me know. And I'll give you credit in the video. And yeah, if you guys want to react to a video with me, actually, let me know about that too. I could react to a video with one of my subscribers. That's a good idea. That's something I thought about in the past. I haven't really talked about it as of recently, but yeah, I thought about it in the past. I think I said it in one of the videos. But if you want to react to a video with me, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram, @night_tie-tie, or let me know in the comments. But that being said, I'm gonna sign out. I'm gonna say a prayer. In the name of Jesus, I pray who's watching this video, bless them from the crown of their heads to the soles of their feet. Allow them to be strong in their mind, body, soul. Allow them to be stewards of the word, and then wear the armor of God, and not give into the world, and not follow the world, but follow God, and bring people to the light, and show and exemplify what it means to be Christ-like, and make friends with people that you don't even know. And if you see someone on the street that's going through a tough time, have a conversation with them, tell them about God. It's random things like that, but let God lead you to do these things and be obedient to him, because he's always talking. You just have to listen to him, and he's always there. He's always in your conscience. So let me just pray. Amen. So stay blessed, stay lit, and I'm out.